What's up, everybody? So a lot of people like the longer videos, I guess, because of the algorithm on YouTube.
Because of her hairline.
No, because we out here. We're gonna do a little tuning on a 2012 NISMO. It's got a boosted performance turbo kit. So we're gonna do. A lot of people ask about what you need to turbo your car, and also like what you can expect, things like that. A lot of people newer to the car scene in general. So we're gonna go over this kit first, cover some basic things, what you're gonna need to do your basic stock block kit. Stock block 370 and stock motor G37 are really good platforms to build on. We have tuned dozens of those cars with all different kinds of turbo and supercharger kits to over 600 wheel horsepower without any issues. So we're gonna do something like that with this one today. There's a couple different kinds of turbo kits. There's a top mount single, mid mount single, and twin turbo. So obviously the twin turbo, there's two of them. They're tucked right into the kind of the armpits of the motor with their own manifolds. The top mount single is gonna be where the turbo sits up top under the hood, kind of on the passenger side. Shout out my boy Hendrick at Switchback Racing. He makes some of the most potent single turbo top mount kits out there. I've got videos on my Instagram page of a few cars making mid 600s on that kit. Also the Soho turbo kit, another very potent single turbo top mount kit. This kit is a boosted performance mid mount, which means that the turbo is actually tucked underneath the car, kind of over by the transmission. This is nice because the engine bay heat is dissipated a little bit easier. Main reason why I got a good deal on it, so I was like, fuck it, let's do it. But things you need, you're gonna need the turbo kit. That'll include your turbo, your hot side, your cold side, wastegate blow-off valve, and intercooler. The other components are the fuel system. So on a 370Z or a G37, you're gonna need a fuel pump, you're gonna need a fuel return system, and then you're gonna need injectors. The starting point for injectors most of the time is we always recommend the ID 1050X, the Injector Dynamics 1050X injectors, going like lower power, like low 600s. If you want to go anything over that, we always recommend to do the ID 1300s or the ID 1300X. So that's what I have in this car. Walbro 450 is the absolute minimum that we recommend for a turbo kit or a supercharger kit on a 370 or a G37. And then finally, the return system. Shout out CJM. We use his stuff on a lot of cars. This one's just got the S1E fuel return system, which is basically a return line and a regulator and fittings to adapt to the factory basket without using aftermarket fuel rails. So it uses the factory fuel rails, but it converts it to a return system. Awesome kit, really good pricing on it too. So that's what we have set up on this car. And then finally, a clutch. Clutch and an exhaust. So clutch, we're using the Z-Speed C-Mac, and I believe it's a stage 4 clutch and flywheel kit. Talk to Joe Allison at Z-Speed. He's very knowledgeable and can set you up with whatever you need. I just told him send me something for this car that will support about 550 wheel torque. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty much what you need to buy to actually get moving on a turbo kit. We sell all this stuff. And then also the tuning, we tune all of these newer cars, or anything 2009 and up, we tune with Ecutek, and we use speed density. So a couple of optional things, a flex fuel kit, which is we get from Specialty Z. Shout out Specialty Z. We get they sell like an ethanol content analyzer with actual sensor, and then you can hijack one of the factory inputs on the computer, and that'll read ethanol content, and you can add and trim timing, fuel, and boost, all based on ethanol content. We're not doing that on this car because it's full-time E85. Going to be running pump gas except for like maybe 1 or 2 pulls on the dyno today. And then finally for the tuning portion, map sensor and the Ecutek Kit. That's a package that we provide along with all the fueling stuff, kind of round everything up. So we keep the factory mass airflow meters plugged in, but we are using a 4-bar map sensor for the fueling and ignition strategy and the boost control strategy as well. And finally, if you are running boost control on a turbo car, you can use a 3-port boost solenoid. It's called a Mac boost solenoid. You can hijack the factory evap input and use an Ecutek tune to control boost. And we will use boost control on the factory computer. And then you can also change boost levels based on the cruise control switch or the cancel button on different maps, depending on how your tuner sets it up. So that's pretty much the basic rundown on a turbo kit to support whatever the stock motor will hold. We like the BP kit. We like how modular it is, and we like being able to upgrade it, upgrade the turbos on it and stuff like that. With their out-of-the-box kit, we've made 640 to 650 wheel. With precision turbo upgrades, we've made 650 to 720 horsepower on a 370Z. So I'm going to do some pulls with this car. I don't have an exhaust yet. I have a Tome for it, but we have to modify some stuff. We're just going to run exhaust underneath the car, open down pipe, and see what it makes. Okay, so we did the first pull. This is the very first tune, first revision on this turbo kit, and 15 pounds of boost. And it made 600 wheel horsepower with 540 torque. Very impressive kit so far. Very potent kit with this this turbo and this backside, and this is on 93 octane. So we're not going to touch anything on the tune. We're just going to drain the fuel tank, put E85 in it, and then we'll really lean on it and see what it can do.
Looking wants it, fucking walking in like a dipshit. Look at him.
All done with the E85 tuning. Really simple process for this car since we're not using any form of boost control, just 15-pound wastegate spring to control boost. So our numbers for the end of the day, we have 600 wheel horsepower on pump gas with 543 torque, and then 659 wheel horsepower on E85. So we picked up close to 60 horsepower, E85, adding a little bit of timing. Really good gains, really good numbers for this kit. This is a completely off-the-shelf kit. You can buy it, bolts on. There's some minor changes you have to make, but it's not really too crazy, and it's a completely 100% factory stock motor with just under 70,000 miles on it. So really good numbers. If people are trying to plan on dishing out their money on a ton of bolt-ons or a max effort all motor build, but ultimately your goal is to make a lot of power, I would definitely skip all the NA stuff and jump straight to the turbo kit, fuel system, clutch, and exhaust. Just for a reference, I actually tuned my car back when it was completely stock. I tuned this car bone stock intakes, cats, exhaust, everything, and it made 308 wheel horsepower. So I was kind of at a crossroads. Do I put a turbo kit on it and chase the 600 plus numbers, or do I try doing another NA combo? So we really like both. Obviously, I have a lot of experience with tuning both, but I really recommend that if your ultimate goals are big power, just start investing your money in that now instead of doing the NA stuff first. Thanks for watching. If you need anything else, let me know.